Alright, this is going to be a video of this 52-inch Hampton Bay brand Princeton ceiling fan I got at the Habitat Restore. I got it because I volunteered there, and what I do for them is clean up and fix fans and lighting they receive by donation, make them more presentable and run better than how they originally came in. Anyway, Hampton Bay itself is a Home Depot brand that makes all kinds of furnishings and hardware for around the home. Basically, they focus on fans and lighting though, and it still remains that way to this day. To actually make them for them, it shows several different manufacturers. This one is dated 1998, and around that time, most Hampton Bay ceiling fans were made by SMC, including this one. Another way to tell, other than the date, is the blade tips are kind of rounded. A lot of SMC ceiling fans, and also fans made by SMC, use this style of blades. Anyway, one thing I find quite unique about this is the light kit. As you can see, it has not 4 but 5 globes, so there's, I guess, a 5 light. It is not particularly rare, but it's also not an everyday sight. What makes it even more odd, see, it has a 3-way chain. So if you pull it once, just the center light comes on. Pull it again, 4 outer ones come on. Pull it a third time, all 5 come on. Pull it a fourth time, everything shuts off. This pretty much, in my opinion, eliminates the need for a light dimmer. Anyway, without further ado, here's a ceiling fan. And start with the high speed. This probably goes somewhere around maybe 180, maybe 190 RPM. And I put a piece of tape on the blades so you can kind of see that. Probably better from below. It does push an okay amount of air, I guess, but it's nothing too spectacular. Really about average for a 52-inch fan. Nothing more, nothing less. That's probably about 5,000 CFM. Which is cubic feet per minute, by the way. Anyway, I'm not going to turn to medium speed. This probably goes somewhere around maybe 130 RPM. Maybe 125, so it does have quite a slowdown to it. Finally, for low speed, which I'll show with the light on, to increase the frame rate. This probably goes 60 to 65 RPM. It hums quite loudly, actually, even though it's not a single capacitor fan. I believe this one actually has a double capacitor in here. Alright, turn everything off here. Stop the blades. And I'm going to talk about some general information on it. As you may notice, the fan has a very short downrod. This actually is original, has not been modified. I really don't know why SMC made it this way. It's really weird. I guess Home Depot wanted it to certain specifications. Maybe it could be used on a slanted ceiling that's not very high, although those two slanted ceilings and low ceiling height generally don't go together, at least not that I've seen. I believe this actually did come with a 6-inch downrod, which is actually a lot longer. This is not even an inch, I don't think. So yeah, that is longer than this one. However, as you can see, this is being used with the shortest one. You might as well flush mount it anyway. Another thing I find interesting is how they divided up the polished brass and the white, because it's a white fan with polished brass accents. As you can see, pretty much the entire light kit is brass. The bottom motor plate is polished brass, and also the blade brackets are. However, pretty much all the top of the fan is white, so that's kind of caught my attention. Anyway, now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I like the fact that the fan is quite versatile because the blades are reversible. One side is bleached oak, the other side is white. I'm using the white side because that's what it came with. Plus, bleached oak doesn't really match anything because it's a white and polished brass fan. There's no bleached oak anywhere other than on the blades. So in my opinion, it will look kind of out of place, at least on this model in particular. The light kit itself can be rearranged a bit. For instance, I believe you can use just the single light if you want to. However, that would look pretty disproportionate, although I guess if someone likes that, they could use that. They could also use just the 4 lights and remove the light kit entirely and just have the fan with the blank switch housing. So that's pretty interesting and cool how they designed that. Another thing is, of course, you can use different downrod lengths because the lead wires are quite long. They have been chopped a bit by the original owner, probably because they couldn't fit everything, but I assume they would have been much longer from factory. Anyway, what I don't like is that the pull chains are, well, they don't match anything. Even if you're to use the bleached oak side of the blade, they're a completely different shade. It's kind of more like a teak, actually. It's just weird. I don't like how they did that. Another thing I don't like is it hums quite a bit. It is a double capacitor fan, and of course that's going to be quieter than a single capacitor, but still not as good as a triple capacitor, I would guess. Anyway, overall I'd probably have to give this 4 out of 5 stars, just for the 5 light, because it's really bright, can illuminate a large room, especially with 5 60-watt equivalent energy-saving fluorescent bulbs. Even with just standard incandescents, it would still work just fine, although these are way more efficient. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me what you guys think.